Okay, Utah Jazz. Now here's a team I'm extremely high on for the simple fact of that they have the mix that I look for in a team that can contend. Well, and then I'll get to another great reason that was added this year. But I thought last year that the Jazz were a couple players away from being very, possibly having a deep run in the playoffs. And the reason why is they got two gigantic, athletic front court players, and they're both actually very. They're both basketball players. They're not just dudes. They're basketball players in Enes Kanter, and more importantly in Derek Favors. Derek Favors is the defensive nightmare your team needs if you want to contend. They have that. He's long arm, contest, strong. And this dude's gonna get stronger. I think in like 10 years time we're gonna be like, geez, who knew Derek Favors? Derek Favors is the strongest dude in the league. He is a man. He's only 23. So they have that. Okay. Then on top of it, they had a lot of other talented players. Gordon Hayward, fantastic three. He can handle the ball. He can shoot. He is super athletic. He plays great defense, and he has terrific basketball instincts. You can imagine he played at Butler with Brad Stevens, but it's very evident when he plays. He makes the right play. He can execute repeatedly. Then they have Alec Burks, who is a super talented two. Long, can guard, shoot, score. Who else did they have Who else did they have? They have Rudy Gobert, who in the future could turn out to be amazing because he's so tall, so long. I think he can even touch the rim without even having to jump. So just those guys alone, I was very intrigued. Now, the one problem though I noticed, was that they were missing the other essential ingredient in the NBA. That was point guard play. They were starting guys like Jamal Tinsley, and they picked up John Lucas, and they picked up John Lucas is the worst point guard in the whole league. Jesus Louise. Who else did they have? They were running Hayward and Alec Burks as point guard. Again, they can handle the ball and they can pass, so that makes people think they're point guards. They are not point guards. They do not know how to get the team into their set. And so although they had all this talent, they didn't have the key to start the car. They were missing that guy. They got him. They got Trey Burke. Now Trey Burke was injured a lot last year and he didn't show, but I'm telling you, that dude is the perfect point guard. Not because he can score, but because he knows how to execute. And like I was saying, it's a flip side of Rubio with Burke. And it's a lot like I would say with Steph Curry. Trey Burke scores a lot more, shoots a lot more. Because why? Because he should shoot a lot more. Because this dude is a knockdown, pull-up jump shooter. It's amazing. They're daggers. But what's awesome about Trey Burke is he plays to win. So although he scored a lot at Michigan and he can score a lot in the NBA, I'm sure this dude will make the play that is the most advantageous based on the matchup, based on the situation, based on all that. So now you add a guy like Trey Burke, whose basketball IQ is just out through the roof. Then you add him in with guys like Enes Kanter and Derek Favors, who even if they weren't just guys that were long and tall and young and athletic, that would be enough. But then you add the fact that they've shown more than that they have higher ceilings than that. And then you add then you add Gordon Hayward, who, again, like I was saying with the Spurs, playing next to a guy like Burke, now you've just maximized Hayward. Hayward has a guy you can play off now. Because although, a guy like Alec Burks can play with Hayward, and so can the bigs, they shouldn't be the ones that initiate that stuff because they're not good at it. That's why when the point guard play sucked, then that ruined the flow of the offense, and so you can't take advantage of the talents of a guy like Hayward or Burks. You can, but they're limited. They really mutes them. Okay, so now what was the second thing that really makes me excited about the Jazz? They have a coach who seems to be aware of maximizing the potential of the players. And that's Quinn Snyder, who I can't remember what team he was on last year. I don't know if he was on the Spurs but he's been a coach all over, notably at Missouri, and he has shown more than anything a true passion for basketball. And I'm very excited to see him with the Jazz. Honestly, I even think this year the Jazz can make a run and really, really go deep in the playoffs because they have the talent. Because not only did they have the players that I mentioned, also on top of it, they drafted Dante Exum, who looks supremely talented, a 6'5" shooting guard / point guard, honestly, with long arms, super athletic, complete defense. He's very talented. You have him on the bench. They picked up Rodney Hood in the draft, who, again, I think on most teams, I think he's highly overrated. I don't think he's that great. I don't think in most situations Rodney Hood is someone that you really want. But on the Jazz, with the way the roster is set up, he's a guy that Quinn Snyder can mix and match and find that right matchup for a dude like Rodney Hood to go crazy and drop like 8 threes on someone. Let's see here. Dante Jones, I have no idea why he's still in the league. I guess he can play defense next to one of the point guards. And that is a problem. They don't seem to really have a terribly good backup point guard. Now they have Alec Burks listed as a backup point guard. He's not a point guard. Alec Burks is not a point guard. But if they can stay healthy, if they just stay healthy, I think they're going to really be one of the tougher teams in the West. And also I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't win. They'll win 40, but I wouldn't be surprised if they don't win more than that. But I also wouldn't be surprised if they make a big run because of their talent. But they may be a year away. I'm just really excited to see they have the pieces in place to really do and they're, more importantly, they're going to be a fun team to watch. Watching a fast break with Trey Burke and Gordon Hayward and a guy like Derek Favors and even a guy like Jeremy Evans coming off the bench, a guy like Rodney Hood on the bench. Geez, they're going to be so much fun to watch. So Jazz are definitely a team that you should make time to watch. More than the Bucks, by the way.